Hi, I'm Rosie. Welcome to my podcast called Yoga Pose. I'm Yoga Pose. My family used to call me Rosie Pose. And I feel like the nickname made me destined to become a yoga teacher. These episodes are a chance for me to share more of myself and my journey, as well as the benefits of yoga and meditation as I see them. So expect stories, sutras, and jokes, because I think I'm pretty funny and laughing is going to help us loosen up. Yoga isn't a game, but there's no reason we can't play. So being playful stops us striving, and we become explorers simply for the pleasure of it. I'm back. Welcome to season 3 of the Yoga Pose podcast. I have really missed you. I've missed being sat by myself at home, speaking into a microphone, sharing stuff that I've done or thought about or found helpful. And what's been nice is during the break, you guys have missed me because I've had loads of messages and comments. So yeah, it's a beautiful thing we're doing here, right? This episode is about how I've changed my mind on yoga offers. So many teachers I meet are out to change the world because we're humble like that. But, we felt the benefits of yoga and meditation. We complete the training, which costs thousands and gets insurance. We set up a cute little Instagram handle and we're off, ready to share our teachings with the world. And we enthusiastically hashtag yoga every damn day, which, by the way, there's no point in doing because your post will show there for like 2 seconds. And, we're trying to create a following by accidentally or on purpose copying all the well-established tricks and tips. So a blog post I published and shared in January got a lot of interaction. Some of it was good. Some of it, it was all good because it sparked debate, and that is what I wanted to achieve. So in this blog post, which you can read on doyouromthing.co.uk, just head to the blog page. It's called Choose Enlightenment, because I'm humble like that as well. I think reading my blog post will help you choose enlightenment. Anyway, in that blog, I was talking about how January is a time where campaigns are run to entice people to do yoga and to get fit and lose weight. I shared it on Facebook with a slightly clickbaity heading saying, "No offers from me because I don't do manipulative marketing." So definitely clickbait, totally, that was in my mind, but also on Facebook, it's a very short space. You don't have a lot of words, so it had to be quick, all right? So that's why I did that. I stand by that decision, and believe me, a lot of thought goes into everything I post. I don't do anything off the cuff. I feel I'm in a good place with my work and, dare I say it, authenticity, which means I felt able to post something a little controversial and engage honestly with, the responses, the real positive ones that are agreeing with me. Obviously, all the best people did. But no, I really enjoyed the people that disagreed with me, and we had some great conversations. And I wouldn't have been confident enough to do that a few years ago. Now, before I get into the responses, I should elaborate, okay? If you haven't read the blog, I'll elaborate now. Just how disappointed I feel when I see offers for yoga, because it's not a quick fix to anything. It's likely that, you will feel nice after your first class, and that's certainly what your teacher will want for your experience. But doing something once or half a dozen times, it is better than nothing, but it's not going to lead to lasting changes. If you want to be good at the piano and you approach a teacher who spent years training in the field and you ask for 5 sessions they're going to think you're joking. It's the same with yoga, Offers work for an afternoon tea or a spa break because it's not something you would necessarily make a habit of. But hopefully, you can start to consider that it's not that appropriate for yoga. And actually, yoga, when you study it, it's not designed to be done a few times. And, your teachers will say, do this stretch, it releases your lower back. Well, actually, having thought about it, I don't know if it will if you only do it a few times. It takes a long time to get just general lower back pain. So it's going to take a prolonged period of time to undo that. And, teachers should be expecting long-term students and not trying to get short-term footfall. And then there's the 30-day, get shredded yoga programs pitched in January, which make me despair. Yoga isn't something I personally want to link with body image any more than it already is. I'm not sure yoga can offer you a different body shape because in all my decades of study, it's not something I've wanted to consider. It doesn't interest me in the least. What interests me is when yoga is taught well, it offers you liberation from such concerns. So in conclusion, for me, New Year offers for yoga are, in my opinion, I'm owning this, in my opinion, they are lazy and they're disappointing marketing. That was my point in the article. And it's true, isn't it? I know I'm going to say that, but you're thinking it. It's true. Do you want to make important decisions about your well-being and disposable income from a place of fear? That if you don't buy this program, you're going to be hideous and really out of shape. Yoga teachers and consumers need to stop practicing Tadasana and actually stand up and challenge some of this madness. That's what's been so good about this article and the conversations we've had since. This is about standing up for what you believe in. And, I really mean all this stuff that I've said. Offers attract a budget mindset, and thousands of hours and pounds are invested into study, and it shouldn't be given away on the cheap. Now, a confession before, I stand all high and mighty. Of course, I'm a hypocrite. Because years ago, when I started Do Your Om thing, I ran an offer. I sold, it was 3 years ago, I sold 300 tickets to classes. And I'm really fortunate that a good proportion of those students remain with me today. And they're listening to this. You know who you are, and thank you. So, having completely lost any credibility, why is it that I've changed my mind and speaking out so adamantly against yoga offers? It's because the majority of people that purchased that offer wanted to do a bit of yoga before taking up the next offer for Zumba. Because it was 3 years ago, Zumba was still a thing. And since then, I now realise my worth as a teacher. And I have reflected on the impact that a deal has on students. It does encourage a budget mindset, and that cheapened the experience for my students. And I did that to them. We all feel super special drinking a handmade chai from a beautiful pottery mug compared to a builder's tea in a polystyrene cup. And like attracts like. So when I undercharge, I encourage students to devalue their time and their well-being. It is no exaggeration to say that I have spent my life's savings and made a huge amount of sacrifices to get my business off the ground. And I've totally changed my offers, my mind on offers, because I don't want teachers to have to do the same. It's been really, really hard. Amazing. I'm so proud of everything I've achieved and all the people that I've met, but if I could speak out and perhaps create a situation in the future no grandiose ideas yet, but in the future, if I could make it so teachers don't have to reduce their product to these, short-term, very cheap offers, what a legacy to leave, right? And I mentor teachers who are really struggling, and it's horrible because I've been there. I understand, and it's so messed up because the thing they love that has, it literally becomes their nightmare. Yoga is a lifelong practice, and that's what I teach my students, that there are no quick fixes, and it is the same if you're a teacher and running your yoga business. So here's a quote for you. More often than not, we need to change our own world and our own minds before we can change anyone else's world. It's like I said at the start, all these yoga teachers, they want to change the world. They've done their teacher training. They've got a great idea for how they want to deliver teaching, and they get stuck in the same patterns, cheap deals, working in cheap gyms. Oh, and do you know where that quote came from? Do you recognize it? Was it Upanishads? Was it Gita? No, it was from Kinky Boots. You change your world when you change your mind. Have you seen the movie? I know it's a show, but I've seen the movie, and it's about a man who took over a family shoe factory, and he had to reinvent how they do business in order to continue providing jobs and for their business to stay afloat. It required him to take real big risks and to see it through. I've taken a risk this year because I stepped back from doing these offers. And in doing that, I removed myself from the competition. I may well pay the price for that. If people shop around for a bargain, of course, they're not going to find me. But I maintain my position on this one. It's important for a moment. If you are on a budget, that is totally fine. There's a lot of amazing yoga videos available for free on YouTube. You can take advantage of this incredible content that's available for you. Or you can just get a mat or roll around at home. There's so much scope to practice yoga on a budget or for free, okay? So I'm not denigrating those approaches. What I am saying is if there is a living, breathing yoga teacher in front of you, they need to be paid a fair rate. And that is why I've changed my mind. And changing your mind is so important. It's about evolution in your thinking and your ideas. 3 years down the line, I should not be doing the same things that I was back when I started. I know not everyone listening to this is a yoga teacher, but there is lesson in this whole example, right? We practice yoga to strengthen our body, to feel flexible. Take that approach into your thinking. Be strong with your thoughts. You've got to be kind sometimes with how you say these things. You've got to be strong with your thoughts and be flexible. Don't be so wedded to an idea, something, it worked once, so I'll just keep repeating it. Every year it will do the same thing. Strong and flexible in yoga, strong and flexible in your mind, possibly business approaches as well. If you would like to be mentored by me, it's still going to be an easy process, but it will be a very heartfelt process. You can contact me, check out my mentoring page, which is iamyogapose.com. I'll put other links in the show notes for you. Thank you so much for listening. And I mean that every time I say it, that's not a pre-record. Thank you so much for listening to Yoga Pose. Thank you so much for listening, if indeed you still are. You can visit doyouromthing.co.uk to see my teaching timetable, workshops and retreats. I would love to connect with you in person. This podcast is about building a community, so keep reaching out to me. Do Your Om Thing is my Instagram handle and Facebook page. Before you go, think about your karma, okay? You've enjoyed this episode, hopefully as much as I've enjoyed making it for you. So help a yogini out by sharing and leaving a review. I read every single comment and they inspire me so much. I'm not kidding. Please leave a review. Don't make me sell out and get sponsorship and do adverts. Thank you so much for listening to Yoga Pose.